It was a beautiful, windy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Not a speck of sunshine could be seen through the gloomy skies that were covered in dark, gray clouds. Meredith Moss was walking out in the garden area of her apartment complex. She wasn't really in a good mood. Life had her a bit overwhelmed at times. She walked through the park, enjoying the cool weather, pondering over her life. She was all alone in the city of Seattle. Not a lot of people were out today. Meredith watched the last of those who were out head back inside in a hurry. Suddenly, she flinched to the sound of booming thunder in the air. At once, large drops of rain started scattering over the pavement. Before she could even make a move, the whole atmosphere had become foggy in the heavy rain showers that poured from the skies. Meredith needed to get going. She grabbed her dress and ran to the apartment entrance. As soon as she got under the shade of the building, she wrenched the water out of her wet skirt. But it was really of no use. She was soaked. Meredith sighed, looking at the stairs. She lived all the way on the 8th floor. The windows to the corridor were always kept open, and the stairs, they were slippery wet as well. Although this was a big issue for Meredith, no one else in the building seemed to care because there was an elevator handy at their service. Meredith didn't like using elevators, but today seemed like a day she would have to. It was raining and thundering so hard, she just wanted to get home. She took a deep breath and pressed the button. The elevator opened up in moments, and Meredith stepped inside. She selected her floor and held tight to the railing. She hated the dizzy feeling she got whenever the elevator lifted off. She closed her eyes and tried to think happy thoughts. When suddenly, the elevator took a jolting shake. Meredith opened her eyes, worried sick. The lights started flickering, and soon enough, they went out. It was pitch dark. Meredith's heart started racing. She started to panic. Anxiously, she touched the walls, searching for the intercom. She picked it up in relief and dialed in the register number. But there was no sound. The electricity was out for good. "Help! Help! I'm stuck in the elevator! Help!" Meredith banged on the door, screaming at the top of her lungs. Unfortunately, her cries were going unheard. It felt like she had been screaming for hours. Her voice was failing on her. "Someone open the door! Someone! Anyone! I'm trapped in here! Please, help!" She sat down to the corner and wept helplessly. Every time she heard the thunder rumble, she tried calling out again, but no one was around to hear her. "Is anyone inside the elevator?" It sounded like the voice of a young man. Meredith jumped up immediately. Yes, please, I've been stuck in here for so long. Please help me out." Okay, can you hear me clearly? Is everything all right in there?" "Yes, I can hear you. Please just help me get out of here." "Don't worry, just try to stay calm. Let me see what I can do. Maybe I can get in. I'm trying to open the door." When the electricity suddenly went out in his apartment, Sterling Walker went out to check the matter, when he suddenly heard the cry of a young woman from the elevator. He took out his pocket flashlight and held it in his mouth and tried to inch open a space between the elevator door. Once he got his hands inside, he was able to push the rest of it open. The elevator was stuck in between 2 floors. Sterling got down and opened the emergency exit on top of the elevator. He shone his flashlight inside and saw a young girl standing there, her cheeks wet in tears. It's raining really hard outside. Seems like there's a power outage. He held out his hand. "Come on, hold my hand. I'll pull you up." Meredith was awfully scared. What if the elevator would go crashing down to the ground floor? What if he would drop her under? She didn't have the strength to pull herself up. Her eyes started tearing up again. I can't do this. You have to try. Put your feet on the railing and try to push yourself up. I can't. This is too difficult. Come on, it's not as hard as you suppose. No, I'm telling you I can't. It was hard to see, as was, and Sterling was trying to give his best to get this girl out of here, but it felt like she wasn't even willing to cooperate with him. Alright then, you stay here and wait for the electricity to come back, if it does anyway, and I'm leaving. Sterling put his hands up on the top floor and was about to hoist himself up when Meredith called out to him, No, please, don't leave me here alone. Sterling stared at her. She was so scared. She started shedding tears again. Please don't go. Sterling got down again. Move out of the way. What are you doing? Sterling jumped inside, rubbing the dust off his hands. Okay, if you're not gonna get out of here, I'll stay with you till the electricity comes back. Sterling sat down in the opposite corner, fiddling with his pocket flashlight. The light had dimmed out already. He didn't know how long it was going to last like this. What's your name? Meredith Moss. I'm Sterling Walker. I live on the 5th floor, and right now, we're stuck in the middle of the 4th and the 3rd. How often does this happen? Well, I've heard it does. That's why I don't like using the elevator. But it was raining so hard today, I got all soaked. I thought I'd get home a little faster. Oh, I was wondering why the floor was so wet. Yeah, I forgot to go to the bathroom today. Sterling shifted a little uneasily. It's okay. Happens. Meredith chuckled. Don't worry, it was my dress. They can soak up a lot of water, okay? Phew, you scared me there. I've never seen a girl cry this much before. That's 'cause you've never been stuck in an elevator before. Well, I'm stuck here with you now, Sterling said as he started searching his pockets. He took out a packet of peanuts. Might as well make the best of it instead of crying, right? Want some? Meredith smiled and shook her head. No, thank you. So which floor you live on? What do you do? On the 8th, I moved here a couple of months back. I'm not really a city girl. I miss home in Wyoming a lot. No skyscrapers and technical difficulties there. Just plain open fields and fresh air. Nice. I always wanted to visit the countryside. Well, I'm gonna go back home for Christmas. I can show you around if you want to tag along. Yeah, not unless we die in here today. What? Meredith said in shock. Sterling laughed out. I was joking, don't worry. Last thing I'll do before this plummets down is get you out of here first. Promise? What? You women have it real nice, huh? And what about me? The two started laughing when suddenly the lights to the elevator flickered on again. Sterling jumped up in joy, stumbling back with the jolting shake of the elevator starting again. Finally, the electricity is back. Now that wasn't too bad, was it? He said jubilantly, but the elevator was eerily quiet. Sterling held the railing, a bit startled to find the elevator empty. He turned around in a circle nervously. Where did the girl go? Sterling waited anxiously for the doors to open. As he stepped out, he held the door for a while and just stared inside. No one but him. How could this be? She was in there, with him the whole time. Not knowing or understanding what just happened, Sterling immediately went to the register. Upon seeing him, the receptionist said, Has the electricity started in your apartment? There was a power outage just a while back. Yeah, it's all right. I was wondering if you could tell me which apartment Meredith Moss lives in? Meredith Moss? I'm sorry, I don't know any of the tenants under that name. Are you sure you know all of the tenants? She's young, like in her 20s, hazel eyes, brunette. She was wearing a sundress. Maybe you saw her come in. Sorry, mister, I've been here the whole day. I would have remembered a pretty girl if I saw one. There's no one named Meredith who lives in this building. Sterling was absolutely bewildered by what he experienced. He couldn't sleep that night. He needed to find that girl. How could she get out of there without him noticing? And how could the receptionist not know about her? Was he new to the job? The night went by awfully stressed. And the very next morning, Sterling went to the 8th floor and knocked on all the doors. Not only did Meredith not open up, but no one even knew her. Sterling tried speaking to the security guard, but even he didn't know who he was talking about. Despairingly, Sterling sat down on the stairs and tried remembering what exactly happened that day while he searched up Meredith Moss on his phone. What? What is this? Sterling spotted a news article on the apartment complex he lived in. Apparently, the apartment complex was actually quite old. It was built in the 1900s, but having been renovated many times over, it looked like it was in good condition. However, the machinery, electrical lines, and plumbing often had many issues and malfunctioned, like it did that day. There was a woman named Meredith Moss who lived here some years back. She had gotten trapped in the elevator during a power outage due to a horrible storm. Being trapped in there for so long, she became frightened and suffered a stroke, and by the time the management opened the doors, the woman was found lifeless. She was only 22 when she passed away. She had recently gotten a job and rented an apartment on the 8th floor and was trying to build her future in the city. It seemed that a small accident turned things around for her. Sterling couldn't believe what he was reading. He opened up a few more articles on the incident. They all reported the same event. Meredith Moss was no more. She was buried at the Seattle cemetery not too far from here. Sterling left all his work and headed there. He needed to see this for himself. He was overawed when he looked at the picture of Meredith Moss engraved onto the tombstone. This was her. This was the girl he was with that day in the elevator. I was hoping to meet you again. I never imagined it to be here, like this. I hope you can rest in peace, Meredith. I wish you were there that day. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.